WhatsApp, the app that's our lifeline for chatting, sharing memes, and sending those infamous "did you see this" links. You might think it's all about free messaging, but much more is happening behind the scenes. Have you ever wondered how this messaging marvel makes money while keeping our conversations free? Let's start with its origin, how this app was born, and how it went on to revolutionize the social media world. In 2001, smartphones were emerging as game changers in the tech landscape. The world began embracing mobile applications, and the newly released iPhone catalyzed innovation. During this transformative period, Brian Acton, a former software engineer at Yahoo, found himself at a pivotal moment in his career. After leaving Yahoo and facing rejection from Facebook, he experienced uncertainty and anticipation for his next venture. Little did he realize that this next venture would go on to revolutionize digital communication. Acton and his close friend John Combe conceived a seemingly simple idea, an app for real-time status updates that would allow users to communicate their availability and activities. However, the concept quickly evolved into something much more significant when they introduced private messaging. This was the birth of WhatsApp, an application enabling users to send messages globally without the exorbitant cost associated with traditional texting. WhatsApp's growth was remarkable. At a time when international texting fees were steep, its straightforward and user-friendly approach captured global attention. The app became a revolutionary tool for instant communication, allowing users to connect without worrying about SMS charges. With its free international messaging, WhatsApp offered an unparalleled service, paving the way for a new era in digital communication. However, as its user base skyrocketed, Acton and Combe faced the financial challenge of sustaining the platform. Free apps typically generate income through one of three methods: advertising, in-app purchases, or selling user data. However, WhatsApp's founders despised advertisements. Their experience working at Yahoo had frustrated them with the invasive and constant barrage of ads cluttering the internet. They were so opposed to advertisements that they published a blog post about it, openly declaring their distaste for ads and why they'd never use them. In-app purchases didn't appeal to them either. They believed forcing users to pay for features would detract from the experience. They had a simple mission: to build a great product that people wanted to use. Their vision wasn't about making money off of every interaction, but creating something that would benefit people's lives. This left the third option: selling user data, an absolute no-go. Combe and Acton were staunch privacy advocates, and their app was built on a foundation of trust between users and the platform. Sharing or selling user information would have gone against everything they stood for. It was an ethical line they refused to cross. So for a while, WhatsApp ran on fumes, powered primarily by seed money from friends who believed in their vision. They kept expenses minimal. The team operated out of trim, cheaply furnished spaces, using IKEA tables and sometimes even wrapping themselves in blankets to stay warm in the famously chilly Silicon Valley winters. However, even with its frugality, WhatsApp could not avoid the growing cost as its user base expanded. WhatsApp introduced a seemingly harmless solution: a $1 annual fee to cover its increasing operating expenses. In some countries, users were asked to pay up front to download the app, while in others, users could enjoy a year of free service before being asked to pay a small fee. However, the truth behind this fee was that it wasn't heavily enforced. Many users who didn't pay the renewal fee continued to use WhatsApp without restriction, as the founders were reluctant to cut off anyone's access over such a nominal charge. This unorthodox approach worked better than one might expect. The small revenue from the $1 fee allowed WhatsApp to keep operating without relying on advertisements or data sales. In a way, it became a voluntary payment. Users who were willing to contribute did so, while those who didn't weren't punished for it. Despite the low cost, people gladly paid because they valued WhatsApp's service. After all, compared to the costs of international texting, $1 per year was a bargain. Despite WhatsApp's aversion to traditional monetization methods, the app still thrived. Investors were intrigued. They saw WhatsApp's growing user base and potential for massive expansion. Sequoia Capital, one of Silicon Valley's most respected venture capital firms, came knocking, offering millions of dollars in investment. At first, the founders resisted. They had built WhatsApp with a focus on the user experience, free from the pressures of investors and their inevitable demands for profit. they were worried that taking on investments would force them to change their vision. They didn't want to turn into just another app filled with ads and privacy issues, responding to the demands of profit-hungry investors. However, as WhatsApp's growth accelerated, the need for more resources became impossible to ignore. Sequoia Capital made them an offer they couldn't refuse, a significant investment without strings attached. The venture capital firm promised not to interfere with WhatsApp operations and agreed to let the company continue its user-centric approach. With Sequoia's millions, WhatsApp had the funds to expand without compromising its values. This was the new business model: attract investors by growing the user base and improving the app, rather than by squeezing money out of users through traditional methods. WhatsApp's viral growth continued, benefiting from what's known as the network effect. The more people used the app, the more valuable it became for everyone else. As more people told their friends about WhatsApp, its user base kept expanding, and so did investor interest. However, one glaring issue with this approach was that it needed to be more sustainable in the long run. Investors would only pour money into a company with a clear path to profitability. At some point, WhatsApp would need an actual business model or the bubble would burst. But for the moment, everything is working out perfectly. WhatsApp was growing, users were happy, and investors were optimistic. Then came 2014, when everything changed. In a move that shocked the tech world, Facebook announced it had acquired a record $19 billion in cash, and shares were paid to WhatsApp. The figure was mind-blowing, far exceeding what many analysts thought the company was worth. After all, WhatsApp had generated only $1.2 million in revenue over the previous 9 months, and its $1 fee needed to be consistently enforced. So why was Facebook willing to pay such an astronomical sum for an app barely making any money? The answer lies in two key areas: data and competition. To Facebook, WhatsApp was much more than a messaging app. It was a treasure trove of user data. Not just any data, phone numbers, contact lists, behavioral patterns, etc. With over 1 billion users and counting, WhatsApp offered a singular chance to increase Facebook's clout and close the gap between the virtual and physical worlds. The acquisition wasn't just about owning the app, it was about owning the users and their data. In addition, Facebook saw WhatsApp as a potential competitor. Rumors had circulated that Google was interested in acquiring WhatsApp as well. Facebook acted quickly, making an offer that Coleman Acton couldn't refuse, securing their hold on the messaging market and eliminating a potential rival. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook's CEO, promised that WhatsApp would remain independent and free from monetization pressures. There would be no forced integration into Facebook, and users' data wouldn't be shared between the two platforms. For a while, it seemed like this promise would hold, but whispers of doubt began to surface. Facebook's history with privacy could have been spotless. From the early days, Zuckerberg had shown a cavalier attitude towards user data, as revealed in leaked private messages where he boasted about having access to sensitive information like emails and photos. Then there was the infamous Cambridge Analytica scandal, where Facebook allowed third parties to harvest data from millions of users without their consent. Could Zuckerberg be trusted to keep his word? In 2016, WhatsApp announced it would remove its $1 annual fee altogether. To many users, this was a welcome change. The cost had always been a minor inconvenience, but now WhatsApp is free. However, this decision raised a crucial question. How would WhatsApp make money if it was no longer charged for its service? The answer was unsettling. Facebook wasn't interested in profiting from WhatsApp directly through user fees. Instead, it was focused on something far more valuable: data. By scrapping the fee, Facebook removed any barriers that might prevent users from signing up. It wanted as many people as possible in the Facebook ecosystem, where their data could be collected, analyzed, and monetized. WhatsApp users were now part of Facebook's vast network of surveillance. Every message, every interaction, every contact saved in WhatsApp was another piece of the puzzle that Facebook used to build detailed profiles of its users. With access to phone numbers and behavioral data, Facebook could connect the dots between the user's online and offline life, giving advertisers an even clearer picture of who to target. For Facebook, WhatsApp wasn't just a messaging app, it was a key to unlocking a deeper level of data-driven advertising. With over 1 billion users, the profit potential was immense. However, the implications for WhatsApp users were far more troubling. The privacy leader, the business previously in charge of the platform, had taken over, WhatsApp's founders, who had built the app on user trust, now found themselves in a difficult position. In 2017, Brian Acton, co-founder of WhatsApp, shocked the tech world by leaving Facebook, walking away from an estimated $850 million in unvested stock options. His departure was about more than just the money, it was rapidly eroding principles. Under Mark Zuckerberg's leadership, Facebook pushed to monetize WhatsApp in ways that conflicted with its original mission of security and privacy. The final straw for Acton was Facebook's plan to integrate WhatsApp user data into its broader ecosystem, primarily for advertising purposes. It wasn't long before Acton became more vocal about his concerns with Facebook. In 2018, he famously tweeted, "It's time, #delete Facebook," setting off a movement questioning Facebook's control over data and its influence over modern communication. Acton, however, was more than just talking the talk. He funneled $50 million into launching Signal, a nonprofit rival messaging app focused on privacy. In essence, he aimed to recreate WhatsApp in its purest form, a tool for private, secure communication without commercial interests. If you zoom out, the story of Brian Acton takes on Shakespearean twist. He had tried and failed to get a job at Facebook. Rejected, he went on to co-create WhatsApp, which Facebook then bought for an astronomical $19 billion. He stayed on as an employee, but the cracks in the relationship grew over time. Disillusioned, Acton quit, leaving a fortune behind to create a new messaging app that would challenge the very empire he helped build. It's a modern-day David versus Goliath tale, with Acton as David slinging his new creation, Signal, at the tech giant Facebook. The conflict between Facebook and Acton had its roots in one major issue: data. Things started unraveling when, in May 2017, the European Commission fined Facebook €110 million for misleading regulators during its acquisition of WhatsApp. Facebook claimed that combining user data from WhatsApp and Facebook was technically impossible. Still, as it turned out, WhatsApp had already been sharing its users' phone numbers with Facebook for years, primarily for ad targeting. This revelation was a punch to the gut for what Brian Acton and his co-founder John Koum had designed WhatsApp as a privacy-first platform. They had promised users their data would never be mined for advertising purposes. However, Facebook's business model, rooted in targeted advertising, needed more data to fuel its algorithms, and WhatsApp's enormous user base was a goldmine of information. Acton later expressed deep regret, admitting he had sold his users' privacy when he agreed to Facebook acquisition. When he learned the extent of Facebook's intentions, the damage was done. WhatsApp had been feeding user data into Facebook's ad machine, and it wasn't stopping. Meanwhile, Jan Koum, the other half of WhatsApp's founding duo, was also at odds with Facebook. His primary concern was encryption. As a staunch advocate for secure encrypted messaging, Koum was disturbed by Facebook's plans to weaken WhatsApp's encryption, making it easier to monetize the platform. Disheartened, Koum eventually followed Acton's lead and resigned from the company. The WhatsApp Business API is a robust tool for medium to large businesses, helping them manage customer interactions on a broad scale. It uses a pay-per-conversation model where companies are charged based on customer chats initiated within a 24-hour window, ensuring they only pay for valuable interactions. Features like automated messaging, customer segmentation, and CRM integration make it vital for streamlined customer management. However, its setup is often complex, requiring WhatsApp approval, and costs can fluctuate based on usage and location. Meta leverages its ad network, promoting WhatsApp Business through click-to-WhatsApp ads on Facebook and Instagram, enhancing customer connections while offering measurable campaign results. This seamless integration boosts user engagement and simplifies business communication, making it easier for them to connect with potential customers. In early 2021, new privacy concerns surfaced as WhatsApp rolled out an update to its terms of service, requiring users to agree to share more of their data with Facebook. This included phone numbers, profile pictures, contact lists, and financial details. The update sparked an outcry, with many users threatening to abandon the app. Initially, WhatsApp gave users until February 8, 2021 to agree or lose access to the app. However, due to the backlash, they postponed the deadline to May 15, 2021, hoping the controversy would die down. But this wasn't a policy change, only a delay in its implementation. What's more, the new terms didn't introduce anything new. WhatsApp had been sharing data with Facebook for years, but because of Apple's stricter transparency rules, they now had to disclose it. The update made what had already been happening behind the scenes official. Given these revelations, one might wonder why people still use WhatsApp. The simple answer: convenience. Even though trust in WhatsApp has eroded, it remains the most popular messaging app globally, and switching to an alternative would mean convincing all your contacts to do the same. The network effect is powerful. If your friends and family are on WhatsApp, it's hard to move to a different platform. The story of WhatsApp, Facebook, and Brian Acton is emblematic of a larger struggle in the digital age: the tension between privacy and profit. On one side, platforms like Facebook rely on user data to fuel their business. On the other hand, some people like Acton believe that privacy should never be sacrificed for monetization. WhatsApp transformation from a privacy-first messaging app to another cog in Facebook's data machine is a cautionary tale for tech users everywhere. It makes us question what we want to trade for convenience and complementary services. And as the debate around data privacy continues to heat up, one thing is clear: the story of WhatsApp is far from over. Meta plans to introduce ads in WhatsApp's status section, similar to Instagram Stories ads. This move could open a new revenue stream by tapping into WhatsApp's vast user base for targeted advertising. While the plan has not yet been fully implemented, it signals a potential shift towards a more ad-driven model for the platform. This initiative's benefits include significant revenue potential, enhanced targeting through Meta's advertising algorithms, and providing businesses with a valuable tool to reach a broader audience. Although WhatsApp messages remain protected by end-to-end encryption, the platform can use metadata like contact list and WhatsApp Pay transaction details to refine advertising strategies across Meta's ecosystem. Just story of WhatsApp. As Facebook tightens its WhatsApp grip, privacy-conscious users have been flocking to alternatives like Signal. Created by Brian Acton and the team at Open Whisper Systems, Signal is everything WhatsApp was supposed to be: secure, private, and non-commercial. It's open source, meaning anyone can inspect its code, and it's been endorsed by high-profile figures like Edward Snowden and Elon Musk. Unlike WhatsApp, Signal is a non-profit, so it doesn't have the same pressure to monetize user data. This makes it a more trustworthy option for those who value their privacy. Still, for all of Signal's benefits, it faces the same hurdle as any new app: getting enough users on board. It's hard to convince people to switch when their entire social network is already entrenched in WhatsApp. But for those who prioritize privacy, Signal offers a compelling alternative. As Brian Acton said, "We're not here to destroy WhatsApp tomorrow. We're here to help people understand that there are alternatives." And for now, at least, that message is resonating with a growing number of users. So this is all about how WhatsApp makes money in today's video. Do like and share the video. For more interesting videos, click the subscribe button on our channel and leave your comment. See you in the next video.